Um, okay, we're live. Good evening, everybody. This is Cyrus Stark with Jim, True Temper
Hello.
Rocket, and we're here to. This is episode 9 of Soul of a Fighter, and we're here to discuss UFC 216. We're going to break it down for you, and we'd like to discuss other issues in MMA. And I think Roberto just joined us. Hey, Roberto.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
It's great. Uh, so glad you're here, brother. And this is Roberto from Fightbook MMA. And as I was saying, we're going to break down UFC 216. We're going to have a quick preview of UFC 217. Well, mostly the main event. Michael Bisping versus GSP George St. Pierre, the return of George St. Pierre. We're going to give our predictions and break it down for you. We're going to talk about other issues. Roberto, if he has anything to say about like MMA in the regional scene or anything, any hot takes, we'll bring those to you too. And Jim, as usual, will bring his knowledge to the party. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for joining, guys.
Thank you, Cyrus.
No problem.
Not a problem, man. I'm only going to be on for a little bit, but I'll contribute as much as I can today.
Thanks, Roberto. Well, how about we start with you? Do you have anything to like any news? Anything you want to say? Anything about King of the Cage?
Um, yeah, I mean the King of the Cage. I mean they're always popping, man. They have a lot of good cards coming up. I'm actually going to interview one of my friends that's going to be fighting on the card. Let me pull up the date here. It's going to be in November, the 18th. He's actually here in town, training with at the Jackson's camp, and he's been sparring with Dotson, with my boy Chris Brown, um, and everything's going good for his training. But look out for that interview because I'm gonna have it probably sometime this week. Um, but it's a pretty good card. It's called the Ultimate Mix. Um, but yeah, man, it's a pretty stacked card. Um, a lot of fighters from New York because I think this is where that place is going to take place. That is in New York. Yeah, it's going to be in New York. So they got a lot of local fighters on that card.
Man, that's exciting, man. King of the Cage in New York. Is that the first time or
No, they've been there. They've been there a bunch of times.
oh, that's awesome, man. It's just so good to see MMA in New York, like official professional MMA in New York. It's just the best. It's
Hmm.
it's a dream come true. On the other hand, all the regional, all the amateur and the smaller ones, I do hope they come back. I know a lot of them had to close shop, like Ring of Combat? That
Yeah.
oh man, that is one of the greatest ever. When you think of the talent that came out of it,
Yeah. Did they close or like did they get away
I
with that promotion?
I think they shut down for a while. I hope they come back. Nothing's permanent, but they announced last year that they were going to have to shut down because of the $1 million.
Yeah, because of all that $1 million stupid insurance shit that
Exactly.
went down for them. But I don't think they officially closed. I
Okay, yeah,
think they
no, like
just yeah, I think they're just waiting to see what's going to happen. Because I know ECF, there and Global Proving Ground, they both merged together.
you're right.
Um, they're still separate promotions, but they still work together. And I know they're still going strong, man. Because ECF had an event. I think it was like a month ago.
Right.
But yeah, it's really nice to see a lot of the promotions out there in New York, man. Even some of the local boxing promotions out there.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man.
Say, now that you guys are talking about New York and insurance was brought up, who's going to pay for this insurance?
The
Has
promotion.
there been a decision on that?
The promoters.
It's the promotion. The promotion. They pay for it.
As soon as you promote, you have to pay for that.
Okay.
The medical.
Yep.
Okay.
You gotta have that up front before you sign the.
Well, I thought that like the UFC was dragging their feet on this.
No, they can afford to, so they paid it up. They paid up for it right away. I think they even cover they cover if Invicta ever fight in New York, they've covered them. But I think they're Bellator, of course, can afford it. That's not a problem. It's the smaller ones.
Or Glory Kickboxing.
Yeah, the Glory Kickboxing. I mean, you know who's behind them, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking huge money. I mean, it's actually French. It's a French billionaire out of Singapore, but they're very, very well. They're very well backed. Like financially, they don't have any worries. And
what's Bellator and Glory? They can go wherever the hell they want, man. Because
exactly.
I mean, it's they're backed by multi-billion-dollar companies.
Exactly. Just like
company, because it's Viacom.
Exactly. Glory is how do you say this French billionaire, and he's got a whole bunch of other dudes around him, so they don't need to worry either. Viacom, Viacom, whatever you want to call them, they never have to worry about that. I think ONE FC are now, like, when you look at who's backing them too, they're Asian, so they're not as well known, but they're one of the best backed MMA promotions in the world. Ryzen are fine too. Ryzen are making bigger. I mean, you don't sign Kyoji Horiguchi if you don't got money. You don't sign Crone Gracie if you ain't got no money. I mean, they're signing some big fighters there, and I mean they're working with Bellator anyway, so they're fine. They are looking to have their first event. Ryzen are looking to have their first event next summer in the United States. I don't know where exactly. I mean, that would be awesome. That would be return of pride, you know? And they're getting better and better fighters all the time. God, it's really exciting. I mean, ACB can do whatever they want. They're backed by, like, I think he's in the top 20 of the world's richest men. He's like worth something like close to 25, between 25 and 30 billion. And he doesn't care about making money. He's just trying to make ACB a major promotion, and he already has. Because, like, you look at the talent there too. He's signed a ton of really good. I mean, he's signed a ton of ex-UFC fighters, ex-Bellator fighters, like very, very famous and very well respected. And
you know, it's another promotion that's out there that are killing it is Brave.
Oh my God, yeah, I heard about them. Yeah, they seem to.
Brave Combat, dude. They have nothing to worry about. They're backed by a multi-billion dollar man from Bahrain. So he's like a prince that owns the promotion.
Is that like Bahrain or is that
Bahrain? There you go, Bahrain.
Oh, okay, all right. No, I wasn't sure. I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, yeah, no, nobody does.
But yeah, it's over there, and it's a prince that dude. If you guys haven't seen a Brave show, look them up on YouTube.
I've seen I've seen a few fights.
Yeah, their production is like mixing pride and I guess you can say Bellator or in Glory all in one.
Right. Yeah. But you can see there's money behind.
They're dope, man.
Yeah, like, you know, there's Eurasian fight nights. There's fight nights, there's Eurasian fight nights in Russia. There's Akhmat Fight Club. I'm not too fond of that because they have kids fighting there. There's, of course, the oldest Russian promotion ever, M1. Their app is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, M1. They're killing it too, man.
Yeah, and they've been around almost as long as the UFC have. I mean, they've been around since the beginning, and they have night fights. I mean, like, it's not for everybody. I freaking love that shit, man, and it's really fun. And their events are well paced, and they've got an international following. That means that, like, if you want to watch it in English, you'll have what's his name? Remember that British heavyweight, the guy who beat Frank Mir, who upset Frank Mir way back in the day, Ian Freeman. He does the commentary. Sometimes you have, I believe, Frank Mir's done it. I don't think he'll be doing it anymore because he officially is ACB's English voice for MMA. And
my friend, that's the commentator for King of the Cage. He's going to be doing the English commentary for Ryzen.
Oh man, that's gonna be awesome. What's his name?
So I'll have a little bit of a in, I guess you can call it, to get some fighters to interview, or even try to see, maybe get somebody to cover the event whenever they come over here in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? What's your friend's name?
Oh, the guy that's doing Steve Inman.
Oh, Steve Inman. I know him. That guy's cool.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so.
Yeah,
cool.
he's dope.
Oh man,
he actually stopped. He actually stopped commentating for King of the Cage because he's focusing more on making movies, and his part 2 of his movie is finalized. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. His stuff, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but he's still going to be working and doing the live commentary for King of the Cage whenever they go live. But yeah, he's focusing more on his Ryzen and his movie. But yeah, it's pretty cool times right now, man.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of positive things happening in MMA, and I mean, just every time a new promotion gains foot and gains fighters, gains traction, it's better for fighters. It means it's a better day for fighters because there's more options. More options mean more money, and then the UFC don't have that kind of power over fighters where they feel like fighters feel. Remember, like from the end of 2013 all the way to like the middle of the 2015, it felt like there was nowhere else for fighters to go. Now fighters know they have options. Fighters know they can look up elsewhere. They know that, and the UFC is going to have to raise their prices. The UFC also kind of backed themselves into a corner with their abusive treatment and, like selling and making sure everybody knew they were the highest selling sports. They broke the record as the highest selling sports franchise because now every single fighter knows they've been had. Every single fighter knows they've been lied to. Everything. So it's just great to see. Like, you're starting to see fighters actually be happy after they negotiate a contract. So I'm really excited. And
it's like my friend Brandon Hasley. I'm sure you all know who he is.
Oh yeah, I know him. The ex-Bellator champion.
Yeah, he's actually fighting for M1. I think this is his second fight that he's going to be fighting for them.
Yeah, he fought Shlemenko recently.
Shlemenko, yeah, he lost, but hey, they're still he's still doing it, man, and
hey, bro, it's
just pretty cool seeing. It's just pretty cool seeing a lot of ex-UFC fighters going somewhere else. Yeah, they might get flack, you're going to a B, C promotion. To me, right now, the UFC, I'm starting and I'm getting to that point where I'm getting bored of them.
No, how can you not? How can you not? Because it ain't about the fights anymore. It's about the mouth. It's about like who says what. Like, I love Kevin Lee. I really do. I enjoy watching him fight. But like for the last 2-3 months, we haven't been watching him fight. We've been listening. We've been hearing him say crazy shit. And I don't like. I always love, like, whenever I know Kevin Lee's fighting, I can't wait. But lately, it's just been him talking, and it's true. And it's like it's
quite a bit of noise.
Yeah, see, something fell or something. Is that you, Roberto, or is that?
Yeah, no, that's me. I'm sorry. I'm about to head out.
All right, man. Well, thanks
Oh no,
for.
no, no. I'm still gonna be on. I was
Okay.
just trying to get. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
All
Sorry.
right, man. All right, man. Uh, yeah, no, as I was saying, Kevin Lee, it's like he talks so much and he's like trying so hard. It's really annoying because that guy is so awesome. He doesn't even have to try that hard. That's how cool he is. I mean, this guy is head and shoulders above McLeprechaun, above Conor McGregor as a fighter. He's a way better fighter. All he has to do is take Conor McGregor down, and he can do what he wants to him. McGregor is in a world of trouble on the ground, and his striking is getting better and better every day. So let the fists do the talking and just be yourself, man. Like he's really trying hard. Like look at El Kakui. Look how cool he looks. Look how just the guy is the best. There's no doubt about it. He knows he's elite, and he just he lets his fists and his shins do the talking, and but I just love the way he does it. Like he beat the brakes off of the former lightweight champion, the guy nobody thought was going to get beaten for years, and he just made he just completely outfought him, outstruck him, beat the brakes off of him, and at the end he didn't say anything. He didn't call anybody out. It was like he says, you guys come to me now. I'm top, and he knows it.
That's the way it ought to be.
And don't get me wrong, I don't mind trash talkers. I just don't like it when it's fake. And I'm not calling Kevin Lee fake, but he's trying too hard, and he's not doing himself any favors. And honestly, like I can't wait for the McLeprechaun era to be over, and I think it will be very soon because, like, at lightweight he can only go so far. I know he's trying to make some goofy fight with Paulie Malignaggi in the cage, whatever. Like even if he does that, his time's running out because there's only so many stupidity. I mean, so many dumb shit fights he can come up with before people actually ask for a real fight. And any real fight in that lightweight division is dangerous to him.
What I'm really curious to know is why isn't there a date set already for McGregor to defend that belt?
Because they are so about the money. They are so desperate for the money. They'll do anything to keep McGregor happy. McLeprechaun, as I call him. And McLeprechaun is, but they created a monster, and now they have to.
Yeah, pretty much.
Happy. Well, come on, they messed up. Like they used him. They used him. He used them, but then they allowed him to castigate, insult all the other fighters, make the other fighters look like shit. What's the word I'm looking for? They completely neglected every other fighter. But I mean, to the point where like nobody's talking about other fighters except for Paige Van Zandt or like someone like Stipe Miocic is getting some rub, but it's not thanks to the UFC. They've completely underpromoted and neglected most fighters, and they're paying. I mean, like, you can't tell me Valentina.
Well, yeah, they neglect them so bad. How the hell can they expect people to buy pay-per-views to watch them?
Exactly, and they've neglected whole markets as well. Not as bad as the fighters, but they've neglected market, and that kind of works hand in hand with a fighter. Because when you got someone like Valentina Shevchenko, who has a following all over the world, but especially has a following in Peru, and in Kyrgyzstan, and in Russia, and even in Ukraine and Poland, and they don't plug her. They don't work it out so that she's on every major television show or any major event. Just like Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Anytime you speak of Poland, you should hear about her. And WME, IMG, William Morris, they can pull that shit. That's what they do. That's their job. They're not doing it because they don't respect fighters enough. They do not respect fighters. They don't realize how valuable they are. So they just, they keep doing what they're doing. They're doing everything wrong. So, shame on them. And fighters are going to get fed up with them and leave. Anyways, what'd you guys think about a quick breakdown of UFC 216? You guys want to quickly break it down?
Sure.
All right, then.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to go first? I'm going to ask a question, then you guys answer. For example, which fight are you looking forward to the most?
For me, is
Yeah.
Ray Borg and Demetrius Johnson. The only reason is because Mighty Mouse is not getting the full respect that he should be getting.
No, sir.
And he's the GOAT. I mean, that guy, he's defended that belt 10 times. He's defended it, not, and it's not even his fights were boring. They were just, it's just watching him is freaking awesome to watch.
Yeah,
You know, it's.
I agree.
He's just a fighter that everybody needs to watch, learn, and I'm excited because it's Ray Borg, and Ray Borg is from my hometown. He trains about 45 minutes away from me, and you know, talking to him and meeting him, and you know, it's just been it's been awesome, and that's another reason why I want to see this fight is because of Ray Borg.
Yeah,
And
Ray
he's
Borg
a submission artist. Ray is not a slouch on the ground, and he's got some good striking, considering, you know, because he's been training out at Jackson's. So, you know, Weekland John has been helping him out, and, you know, and Greg with his ground game. So, to me, that's the one fight that I really, really want to watch.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Jackson Wink, let me just put this in real quick. I read this week that Johnny Big Rig Hendricks is training there.
Yep, my boy Chris Brown sparred with him last night.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now there's a few fights I'm looking forward to. I mean, how about you, Jim? Like, do you have any fights you're?
No, as a matter of fact, this card doesn't really blow my dress up that much. But I always like to watch Johnson because he's one of my favorite fighters. I used to be a wrestler, and I think that Johnson is the best grappler in the UFC myself.
Yeah, yes, especially since John Jones and GSP have yet to come back. I mean, John Jones came back, but he's out. But yeah, no.
John Jones he's a memory.
Yeah, unfortunately. But GSP's coming back, so I think those two would give each other a run for their money. But I mean, look, let's. Okay, at first, this fight card looks weird because it's Ferguson versus Lee for an interim title, right? They should be fighting for the title because to me, Mick Leprechaun should have been stripped a long time ago. But anyways, we can hear we're hearing train tracks in the background. Is there anything?
Oh, that's me.
Okay, you can't.
Hold on.
Okay. Okay, there's a couple fights that really stick out. There's Fabricio Verdum versus Derek Lewis. Then on the undercard, there's Tom Duquesnoy, French boy, training at Jackson Wink, who's an absolute monster. He has a baby face. I mean, he actually looks like a little angel, but that guy will change your life. And he was the featherweight world champion at Bama, and he had an amazing debut like 2 or 3 months ago, and this kid is seriously good. I mean, he's violent. He's extremely violent in the cage. He's got ridiculously accurate striking, and he's fighting Cody Stamann. That I'm really looking forward to. Then there's Bobby Green versus Lando Venata. And I mean, Bobby Green he's crazy, but he's an amazing fighter. And Lando Venata, my friends, Groovy Venata is nasty, and he's just such an amazing, wonderful fighter to watch. I mean, his moves are beautiful. So, and there's Stalis Lides versus Brad Tavares. That's like last chance saloon for. It's one of those. I'm not saying they'll be cut, but you know, they're both very talented middleweights, but they never seem to get anywhere. You know, because they seem to trade wins and losses quite frequently. There's Will Brooks versus Nick Lentz. That's another redemption fight. I mean, Roberto, you can't tell me you're not looking forward to Bobby Green versus Lando Venata.
No, that's going to be an awesome fight, but I'm on the fence on who I want to pick as who's going to win that fight, just because both fighters are just like freaking awesome.
I've got Venata. I've got Venata. Like I've got Venata 999%. I thought he won his last fight too versus the Swedish guy. I did not think he deserved to lose that fight.
Yeah, I mean Landa, he's another local kid, so I mean obviously I have to pick him, but I mean that other dude is a beast.
He is. But he has a problem with he has a problem with his focus, and his trash talk gets him into some serious trouble. Like as opposed to the Diaz brothers that gets them somewhere, and it messes with their opponent's heads. It's like he gets so much into his trash talk and his taunting that it actually gets him into trouble. Like I mean, look where it got him versus Dustin Poirier.
I mean, he starts believing that shit he's talking, huh?
Yeah, that where he's just so enjoying taunting his opponents, because he doesn't just taunt. He doesn't just trash talk. He taunts, and he'll physically taunt. So he'll do stuff like put his arms down and stick his chin up in the air, and it's just like right there to be hit. And sometimes I know he's very fast. He's a freak athlete, but that doesn't mean others aren't fast. And that's what happened to Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier ain't as fast as him, but he's got venom in his hands, and he knocked him out, man. It was a violent knockout. His last fight, he lost because the other guy out-grappled him. He fought like, I forget his name, one of those cats from Dagestan. And he got out-grappled and out-wrestled. The guy put a body on him and just wouldn't let go. So, he lost by decision, but he's lost Bobby Green has lost fights that he should have not lost because he was just not focused. He was too busy, acting tough than being tough. And I'm not saying that because I don't like him. I'll watch every time he fights. I watch, but you got to be honest. I've seen him lose fights to fighters that he should have won. Just lack of focus, messing around, and getting caught. So we'll see. But I'm quite interested by that fight.
I say Landau by a vicious head kick.
Same here. I see Bobby Green like
I see. Now that I'm listening to you talk about him, I'm starting to now see that he's gonna get a KO by his signature head kick.
I'm a Lando fan. I really am. Like
nobody knew who he was until I started telling everybody, watch this kid.
Right?
Y'all need to see this kid.
Yeah. No.
I mean, yeah, right, whatever. Just because he's from here, like, all right. Wait till he wins. Boom.
You can't do that. You can't underestimate anybody who comes out of New Mexico. You can't underestimate him. I mean, there's Jackson Wink there, but there's more than just Jackson Wink. There's
most definitely. There's Fit NHB.
Exactly.
There's God dang, man, I always forget the name of this other gym that a lot of the King of the Cage fighters come out of.
You're talking about the one where Claudia trains, right? Claudia Gadelha. Well,
right? She trains at a boxing gym for her stand-up. Yeah, they have good fighters too that are boxers.
Yeah. But that's the gym.
But yeah, man, there's.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, man.
Well, no, I was just going to say that there's a lot of champs that come out of that camp.
Yeah, no, MMA is, for a state its size compared to the other, like big MMA states like New York, California, Colorado, New Mexico is right up there with anyone. It's just, come on. Like, there's so much talent in just Jackson Wink. They can put on fights on their own. They put on regional fights. I'm sure, of course, Roberto will tell you, KOTC, a whole, they have whole fight cards that are full of Jackson Wink fighters that train there, right?
There's they have a lot of fighters from Jackson, from Fit, A lot from Jackson and a lot from Fit NHP, just because the promoter runs and owns Fit NHP.
There you go. And you got,
And then they get a lot of local guys from Rancho where I live, and then some from Gallup. There's one that fights out of Santa Fe at a karate school. He's pretty badass. Fights that are here from New Mexico, they get a lot of the local talent here, man.
It's just so exciting, man. But like, let's be honest here. If Jackson Wink, just as a gym, wanted to go into promotion, they easily could. Let's be honest. Like that would.
They have their own promotion.
Really? What's it called?
Yeah, Jackson Wink.
Jackson Wink Promotions. They put on their own fight cards.
They have their own fight cards. Yeah, I have yet to cover a card because it's been crazy with work and schedule. But yeah, they just had an event. I think like a month ago.
Right.
Not too long ago, they put on an event. It's called Jackson Wink or Jackson Promotion, something like that.
Jackson Wink Promotions.
I think that's what it's called.
I'll have to look.
Sure, I'll find out for you.
Hey, cheers, man.
But yeah, man, they have their own promotion.
Yeah, well, it's just like Alliance. Dominic Cruz's and those guys is that's a huge camp. It's not talked about as much as the American AKAs or the American top teams or the Jackson Winks, but they're just as huge. I mean, they are part of LFA. Like the Alliance stands for the gym too. Like they're part of the MMA promotion scene as well. Like people don't realize it, don't talk about it as much, but yeah, Alliance are for real. I mean, they've actually been trading on the stock market as well. So, man, people are making moves, man.
Well, they bought out a shit ton of promotions.
Exactly. No, but there's a lot of good things going on. I mean, like, yeah, just to get back to the fight card, how about like a quick prediction? Okay, I'm going to read out some names. And we'll make some predictions real quick before Roberto has to go. Okay, Mara Romero Barella versus Kalindra Faria. Anybody?
I have no opinion on that.
Yeah, neither do I. Roberto?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I think they're both.
I have no idea, man.
Yeah. Oh, this is one we'll probably know. Pearl Gonzalez of the Exploding Breasts. Remember UFC 209? 208. Pardon me. That debacle when she fought that wildcat that's been destroying the strawweight division. What's her name? I love that chick. The one that talks like a Diaz bro.
Oh,
tiny
shit.
Latina girl who's just so badass, so nasty. Well, anyways, she's the girl that fought her, and then they embarrassed her with this. If you've got breast implants, you can't fight because they might explode. Well, she's back and she's fighting Polyana Botelho. I've only seen very little footage of Polyana, but just out of respect for what she went through, I'm gonna go with Pearl Gonzalez on that one. Anybody else have a pick? Pearl too. Are you going to make it perfect? Here we go. Jim's on board too.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Hooray for breast implants. Tom Duquesnoy.
We shouldn't laugh about that. They could be dangerous in a fight. They could be.
Apparently they're really not. Like it's not true. It's like it's actually been scientifically proven that they're not. It's really not. Like, especially if they wear sports bras, they're fine. And her breasts weren't that big. She had implants, big deal.
Well, I heard that if they burst inside...
Miesha Tate fought with breast implants?
Exactly, for years.
I heard that if they burst inside a woman, they can infiltrate the spine almost immediately.
Yeah, but I heard...
And it's instant death.
Well, apparently that's no longer true. Like it's been proven that you know that was like back in the 90s or the early 2000s. Like apparently that stuff doesn't even exist. The stuff that they use is not. It's completely benign. Or like the implants are. I mean, they're making them different now. I mean, you know, it's 2017. I'm sure somebody figured out.
They're not silicone anymore.
Exactly. So, you know, well, this is what some guy said, that like this whole thing of them bursting is just bullshit and it's not a danger or anything. Okay, the next fight I've got is Tom Duquesnoy versus Cody Stamann. Anybody got a pick? I know who I'm picking.
I'll probably pick Cody.
I've got Tom Duquesnoy personally.
Tom Duquesnoy?
Yeah, by violence. Okay, next.
By violence.
By violence. By bloody violence. I've got Bobby Green versus Lando.
Lando. I'm going for Lando.
Lando.
Yeah, Lando, yeah.
Oh, look at that. A perfect, a triple crown for Lando Venata. We got Matt Schnell versus Marco Beltran. I'm going for Marco Beltran because I love the Beltrans.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard good things about Beltran.
Yeah. No, he's fun. I've got John Moraga versus Magomed Bibilatov. Magomed Bibilatov is on a good run, but I'm going for Moraga because I love the dude, and you know, like he's been on a rough run, and I believe he's gonna turn it around this time.
I'm iffy on that one though.
Me too. I'm basically saying I'm rooting for Moraga. Bibilatov is a nightmare. Like anybody from that,
he is
just not good.
He is. Go for him because Moraga's been up and down. So
yeah, he's had a rough time, and I think he's disillusioned with the whole UFC. He's been fighting for the UFC for nearly 10 years now, and he hasn't seen shit for it. So I think he's like looking forward to ending his contract and trying to make some more money. Jim, you got a pick on that one, Moraga or Bibilatov?
Yeah, that same fella,
Bibilatov or Moraga.
Yeah.
All right,
Bibilatov.
Whatever
his name is.
Yeah, monster.
Yeah. There's a lot of those names I don't know how to pronounce.
Yeah, they're very hard to pronounce, especially the Dagestani names, man. They're really
if they're not named Smith or Jones, I'm fucked.
Well, I can't blame you, man. Khabib Nurmagomedov. I mean, like, enjoy that. Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Dude, I barely learned how to say Joanna's name like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, well, I can't blame you, man. Like, it's not easy.
I would just call her JJ.
Yeah. No, you can call her JJ or Joanna Champion because she's mischievous. She'll change the pronunciation of her name constantly as well, just to mess with people. So apparently, the real pronunciation is Joanna Jędrzejczyk. But then, as well, you're not supposed to say Joanna. You're supposed to say Joanna. But whatever. That nasty wolf bitch from Poland. That's what I call her. That's a compliment. Thales Leites versus Brad Tavares. I like them both. I just do not know who to pick. I really don't, but I know I'm going to enjoy that fight.
I know the name.
Right?
The name Tavares.
Yeah, man. He's from Hawaii.
I'm going to go for him. I'm going to go for Brad.
Yeah, man. Brad's a good guy. Guy. I can't pick between the two. Like, I really can't. Like I did one pick out of this whole card, out of like I picked from my heart. Like basically, I'm rooting for him is John Moraga. But I'm not doing it again. Like I really have no idea who's going to win this fight. It all depends because with both of these guys, especially Thales, but Brad Tavares, it's about concentration and it's between the ears. It's about because they're both nasty. They're both very powerful. Actually, Brad Tavares's last performance was brilliant. But Thales Leites is seriously good. Like as far as talent, this guy should be up there with the elite. He should be in the top 5. That's how good he is. So I'm not sure, man. I'm not picking for this one. I'm just gonna pass on that one. But it's gonna be a good fight. Okay. Sorry, Jim. You have a pick on that one?
Yeah, Tavares.
Okay, cool. Okay, the main event for the undercard for the prelims is Will Brooks versus Nick Lentz. That's going to be a very I've got Brooks.
I
he's
don't
on
know
2
those
fights.
guys.
Will Brooks used to be the Bellator lightweight champion, and he was nasty, Jim. Like really good. He basically. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick him, man, because he was a beast in Bellator.
Oh my God, yeah, just unstoppable. He's just unstoppable. He had one
Which
hiccup.
weight class
versus,
is that?
Lightweight. He was the lightweight champion, and
Lightweight.
honestly, he beat the brakes off of Michael Chandler twice. Like Michael Chandler couldn't touch him. That's how good he was. And Michael Chandler is a badass. Like Michael Chandler would give anybody trouble in the UFC. Like anybody. Like Michael Chandler would destroy Conor McGregor. Like that's how good he is. He's amazing on the ground. He's a stud wrestler. He does not stop. He's got an amazing chin.
Now that you mentioned that about Conor McGregor,
yeah.
I think there's several people that can beat the brakes off of Conor McGregor.
Pretty much anyone in the top 10 lightweights could do it. It's just it all depends on how they show up. If they show up to embarrass, if they show up to like just do what you do. Like you just stay calm. Don't fucking lead. Don't run into anything. Don't be arrogant to the point of I just want to embarrass him. Just do what you're doing. They could easily. And I mean, like every single one of them have
yeah. Don't do a Jose Aldo.
Yeah, exactly. Or and I hate to say this, but an Eddie Alvarez, because Eddie Alvarez.
Oh my God, dude! Eddie Alvarez just got murked.
And I love that dude. Eddie Alvarez is one of the greatest martial artists ever, and he's definitely one of the greatest lightweights that's ever lived. I mean, you look at his career, you look down, you look at his photography card, or his whatever you want to call it. You read the long line of legends he's fought and beat. It's amazing, and he's won everywhere. He's won in Japan, in Dream. He was Dream champion. He was a Bodog champion. The man is a monster. So he deserved better than that, and I'm glad he's going to be back soon. But yeah, Will Brooks can give anybody trouble. He's just that much of a stud wrestler. He was a NCAA state champion, national champion wrestler. He's just an amazing fighter, and I hope he comes back. I mean, I like Nick Lentz. I have nothing against him, but Will Brooks, if he comes on switched on, Nick Lentz ain't got a chance, because everything that Nick Lentz is good at, Will Brooks is so much better at. So I actually see Will Brooks knocking Nick Lentz out. Okay, here's a good one. Beneil Dariush versus Evan Dunham. I don't know who's picking that one. Dariush is a blue chip prospect. I mean, he's more than a prospect. He's a vet. I mean, he's a full-blown professional. He's going to be an elite lightweight, and he hasn't fought since he got knocked out by what's his name? I call him the lightweight Aldo. The
lightweight Aldo.
Yeah, I call him the lightweight, like as in like the bigger version of Aldo, because he's a lightweight and he's just monstrous. And I mean, he could easily fight a welterweight if he wanted to. But he's another one like. He'll lose to fighters he shouldn't because he gets in his own head. But when he isn't, he's a nightmare. I just can't remember his name right now. He was the first spinning back head kick in the UFC. He knocked that guy out.
Oh,
yeah. What's his
okay.
name?
I remember that kick.
Yeah, he basically when he fought Dariush about 3 or 4 months ago, he kneed him. He flew a flying knee on Dariush when Dariush was going for a double leg takedown, and he timed his jump so perfectly. His knee met his
yeah,
and he knocked him out.
He clocked him.
Yeah. What is that guy's name? He's
who did he fight? Or who we're talking about? Dariush?
Yeah, we're talking about Dariush. We're talking about the guy he lost to last time. That crazy lightweight, the guy who got choked out by Tony Ferguson.
Edson Barbosa?
Edson, thank you. Edson Barbosa. I've always got problems with names. So yeah, I was talking about Edson. Beneil Dariush lost for the first time in like 3 or 4 fights, and he lost. Oh wait, well, hold on a minute. No, he also lost to what's his name? To Michael
Chiesa.
Yeah, Michael Chiesa choked him out. But Dariush got knocked out for the first time, but he's still an amazing fighter, and he's taking on basically one of the toughest lightweights around, Evan Dunham. Like probably the closest thing to Evan Dunham is very similar to Darren Elkins. He's a grinder. He's a badass. He only loses to the very best, but he always comes, and he's a tough out for anyone because he's a nightmare to fight because he's always sticking to you. So.
He also lost against Edson.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, you're right. You're right, but yeah, they both lost to Edson, didn't they?
I'm going to pick Evan.
You know what? I think I will too. I don't know why, but yeah, I've got a feeling. I think Evan Dunham will grind him down.
Mm-hmm.
Jim?
Who was the other guy?
Okay, there's the Beneil Dariush versus Evan Dunham.
Dunning, yeah.
Okay, you got Dunham. Yeah, go with the wrestler. That's it's always a smart thing to do when when in doubt, go with the wrestler. Okay, you got Walt Harris, who I really like. He's a raw heavyweight, but he's got venom in his hands versus I think he's a English heavyweight called Mark Godbeer, which is a really groovy name. Makes me thirsty.
Well, if he's English, I'm not picking him.
Can't blame you. Yeah, I'm picking Walt Harris myself.
Walt Harris. Walt Harris.
Yeah, smart man. Good thinking. Okay, next is Fabricio Vicavallo Verdum versus Derek the Black Beast Lewis.
Black Beast.
Oh boy.
Black
Yeah,
Beast.
I gotta go with Lewis there.
It's the first time I'm gonna root for Lewis myself, but just Verdum.
Fuck Verdum.
Yeah, fuck Verdum. Did you see what he did to
Fuck yeah, man. He's a dickhead.
Yeah, he's kind of I think he's kind of a joke myself.
Yeah, I'd have more respect for him.
Him and his stupid ass smiley face that he does.
Yeah. No, that he calls it the troll face. Go fuck yourself. You're
freaking troll face.
I hate the way he pretends. I hate the way he pretends to be a nice guy in front of the cameras, and as soon as the cameras are off, he turns into an.
He's a dick.
Remember what he tried to do to Luke Rockhold? He tried to bully him in the background, like back in the Strikeforce days, and Luke Rockhold said, I may be a middleweight, but I will fuck you up. And ever since then, it's been. I hated what he said to Kane when he said, "I'm more Mexican than Kane." I hate that shit. That guy's a bitch. There aren't very many martial artists I can't stand, but he's actually made. He's always been like close to that list, but he's actually made the list because that guy. There's something wrong with that guy. Like he's
got anger issues, man.
Yeah, no, he's good. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. He tries to portray himself as the nicest guy. When he was the champion, he was trying to be nice, pretending to be nice to everybody. But the guy's super violent, like really, really violent.
Are you talking about Verdum?
Yeah, Verdum. Derek
He's
Lewis
violent?
Super violent. Super violent. Very, very. And I'm talking about out of the cage.
He gives me the impression that he's just a dumbass.
Yeah, he's also a dumbass. Like some of the stuff he says is really embarrassing. Like he's constantly kissing UFC ass. He's constantly like he's schmoozing. He's a bit of an opportunist, but like he'll be kissing UFC ass, and then the next minute he'll go on a rant about Reebok, like fuck you Reebok. So it's like you actually been kissing ass for months to get a desk job, and he had a really good job.
Is it normal for the car to be dripping a lot of?
He'd do all the Spanish speaking TV work. So he's a company man, and then he starts saying absolute embarrassing shit about Reebok, which I agree with, but it's like you're obviously not very smart there, are you, buddy? Like I don't know if it's all the knockouts he took because he's known for having a bad chin, and he's been knocked out plenty of times in his career.
Yeah.
So maybe like he has like CTE issues with, but as a person, he's not a good person at all. He's very fake. It's one thing to be an asshole. It's another thing to be fake. To pretend you're a great guy. Like I don't like that. Like if you're gonna be an asshole, be an asshole. Let everybody know. Like for example, I mean Roy Nelson ain't an asshole at all. He's a great dude, but he tries to portray himself as an asshole. He does his best. So he'll put on like when he's in public, he'll put on an act, and be awkward, but he's never nasty. He's never violent to people. He's one of the nicest dudes ever, but he tries to be awkward. Like with the press, he'll tell them to go fuck themselves, and stuff like that. But he's actually a really good dude.
Yeah, we got lucky to be able to interview him.
You're gonna get to interview him again.
We should. I know. I need to get my guy to get on it.
Man, if you could do that, that would be awesome. That guy, I always got time for Big Country, man. Big Country's the man. Look at Matt Mitrione. Matt Mitrione, I love the dude, but he calls himself Meathead, and he does behave like a prick sometimes. But the thing is, he doesn't hide it. He comes out with it, and I love him for it, So he is a bit an awkward asshole, and he could be a dick. So, at least he's honest about it. Verdum tries to pretend he's a good guy, but he's really an asshole. So, fuck him. I'm picking Derek Lewis. But, it's gonna be a good fight nonetheless. Okay, how about the co-main? Oh, Jim, did you make a pick in that one?
Yeah, Lewis.
Okay, cool. Triple crown for Lewis. Okay, we got Demetrius, the Mighty Mouse Johnson, aka the greatest fighter alive, versus Ray Borg.
Well, I gotta go with Mighty Mouse.
My heart says Ray, but my mind says Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, same here, man. I like Ray. I've got no problem. If anything, the UFC did him a disservice because they should have given him like 1 or 2 more fights before the title just to, help him get used to making the weight because, he has had issues making weight and just to get him ready because just like Demetrius Johnson said, frickin' what's his name is ready right now. Pettis. Sergio Pettis was ready, but they decided to go Ray Borg. So good. So I've got Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson as well by breaking the record. Jim? Yeah,
but Mighty Mouse, he asked for this fight.
No, what happened was they offered him Ray Borg. He said, I actually would rather have Sergio Pettis because Sergio Pettis has more of a following. Like Sergio Pettis is actually like a star, He's not a huge star, but he's got a real following because of the name and the fact that he's on a great run. And he was saying like that would make more sense.
And Pettis could make could make weight easier.
Yeah, the UFC came back to him and said, "Nah, we think Ray Borg is a better option because Ray Borg is and that's when it happened. And then when he accepted Ray Borg, then they came back at him with T.J. Dillashaw. That's why he insisted on Ray Borg. He told them, he said, "You guys said I had to fight Ray Borg. I'm fighting Ray Borg." That's how it started. But he actually wanted Sergio Pettis to begin with. If you follow the
how long is this? How long has this been going on? This
it's been going on. This is before the summer. It's really bad.
Months and months and months ago. God.
Yeah. And Dana lied, threw him under the bus, made him look like shit. It's disgusting.
Oh yeah. Well, to Demetrius Johnson's credit. He made a statement that really put Dana in his place, I thought.
Yeah, no, he really did. And he did it without, just being honest. And he exposed it. That's good because he has been treated really disrespectfully. I mean, we're talking about one of the greatest fighters that's ever lived, a guy that's a credit to any organization. I mean, never mind the sport. He's a credit to the sport. It's an honor watching him fight every time. He's like the Tim Duncan of the sport in the sense that he's never appreciated as much as he should, but he does so much good. It's like you can't put a number or you can't measure how much good he does to the sport. So you know what? Like, get a life, Dana. Get real. Okay, you guys ready for the main event?
Yeah.
Yep.
You got Tony El Cucuy Ferguson versus.
I'm going with Tony.
The Motown Kid Lee. He didn't even let me finish. That's what Tony Ferguson does for people. And you, Jim, you just pulled a Verdum.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
don't apologize. That was awesome.
Tony Ferguson is. Tony Ferguson is. I really feel like he's a shoe-in here.
Nobody wears his nickname better than Tony. the Mexican
Nope.
boogeyman. Come on, the boogeyman. He's a nightmare, and I freaking love that dude. I love the way he fights. I love the way he carries himself out of the cage. I just love that dude. That guy is just and he just gets better every fight. He's just such a
he walks and he fights like a man.
absolutely, and he talks like a man. He's he's respectful. He's intense, and I mean I can't wait I mean I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I would love to see him take on McLeprechaun. It'll be like
me too.
A tiger taking
yeah.
on a chihuahua, because it'll be the mouth versus the fighter. That's what it will be, and it will be beautiful.
Well, I don't think you're ever going to see him fight
I know
McGregor.
because McGregor is not a fighter. McGregor is a personality, and he's a mouth.
Yeah,
He's proved it this year.
Yep.
So let's do some quick picks, and let's keep talking about that. Because I actually think we should talk about McLeprechaun's latest comments, because they were ridiculous, man. They were disgraceful. I don't know if you guys heard him.
Well, yeah, I heard what he said, and if what he said was true, that the referee had a vendetta against him in that boxing match, if the referee actually had a vendetta against him, he would have let Mayweather beat him senseless.
Yeah,
but he didn't.
Yeah, he would have let him get brain damage, because that's where it was headed.
Yeah,
that's where it was headed.
McGregor he's just a mouth.
He got exposed. I mean, everybody thought he looked good. He looked ridiculous because he broke. I mean, like honestly, by round 3, he could have been disqualified. That's how many times.
Well, all the fringe MMA fans made this guy the richest motherfucking MMA artist in the world.
I'm not even gonna call him MMA fans.
And he looked like a dick.
He did. He looked ridiculous, and the ref did him so many favors, and he's complaining. Well, anyways, let's pick this fight, and then we can discuss it.
Okay, Ferguson,
Jim. I mean, sorry, Roberto.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna pick El Cucuy.
Same here, El Cucuy, and this is nothing against Kevin Lee. I just don't see anybody beating Tony Ferguson unless it's Cowboy back at lightweight or Khabib. But right now, I don't even know who would beat him. Maybe Nate.
I don't know about Nate.
You know what? Don't ever count out Nate, man.
I know I can't. I know not to count him out, but
I know
no.
Rough fight.
I don't know, man. I would still pick Tony.
I know.
Personally, I think Nate can beat anybody if he wants to.
Exactly. It all depends on how motivated he does. But I get why you're saying that. I get why you're saying that, Roberto, because El Cucuy is on a whole other level right now. And El Cucuy is pissed too. And he's one of the rare fighters that fights better when he's pissed, when he's angry. And like I'm expecting like him to make an example of Kevin Lee. And Kevin Lee is a great fighter. I believe he'll fight for the title again down the line. He's very young, but it's El Cucuy's time, and he's gonna show everybody. I mean, look what he did to Dos Anjos. That was beautiful at altitude, like more than a mile and a half elevation, and he never stopped. He fights. Honestly, he fights like Demetrius Johnson. He fights like a flyweight, and he's a lightweight, and he's a huge lightweight. Like that guy's his future is at welterweight. I'm convinced about it. I'm convinced of that because he's even bigger than Cowboy. That guy will fight at welterweight.
He is a pretty big guy. He's a pretty big guy.
He doesn't. He's not someone who just talks. He actually said that he thinks that he'll fight at middleweight one day. So like that's a thought. So
and props to Tony for standing up for himself against Verdum.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about that before we went on air. That was disgraceful. I don't know what the UFC were thinking. Like they're doing a presser. This guy's doing his scrum, his media scrum, and they've got Vicavallo right next to him. And that was classless on Vicavallo, but like, why would you put two fighters right next to each other at the same table?
Say, Roberto, what do you think about that guy? You think he's like retarded?
I don't know about retarded, but I just think, you know what, man? I honestly, I think Fabricio just has anger issues.
I think he's got yeah, he's got anger issues, but I think he's got how do you say? He's narcissism. I think he's a narcissist. Yeah. And narcissism
is and homophobic too. I mean, come on, don't call Ferguson a maricón.
Yeah, I know, but that was just like, all Ferguson said was, "Do you mind? I'm speaking. You're being rude." That's all he said, and he went straight to maricón. It was like watching a fucking 5-year-old. And I love the way El Cucuy handled himself. He handled himself with panache and with dignity. And this guy, man,
Tony was just being more. He was very respectful. He even told him, "Look, we're talking here. I don't want to be interrupted." And then, what I loved what he told him was when they were taking Fabricio away, and Tony tells him, "Have fun fighting in my undercard."
I love that, man. That was beautiful. Fabricio Verdun doesn't like.
The truth always works.
Yep.
Fabricio Verdun, it's like they say hubris makes fools of us all, and that's what he's doing. He's making a fool of himself because of his own hubris and his narcissism, because he thinks he's better than he is. And I know he's good. He's one of the greatest Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champions ever. Verdun is, but he's not as good as he thinks he is. He's drinking his own Kool-Aid. And
how old is he now?
Oh, he's 41, 42, thereabouts.
Well, he's due for some broken bones or something.
Oh, he's broken a few bones in his time. He's been.
Well, I mean, like a broken back or something.
Yeah, well, you never know. I don't wish it on any. Well, I don't wish it on most people, but if he keeps going like that, someone's.
Well, you don't wish it on somebody, but somebody that old, stuff is going to start breaking on him.
Yeah, did you notice that like heavyweights get age very well? Like you got a lot of heavyweights in their mid-40s still, doing stuff. You got a lot of heavyweights at their late, early 40s. You got, the heavyweights age better, and that's in any combat sport. If you're a heavyweight, your career is longer for whatever reason. I guess you don't need good cardio. The fights last shorter because these guys hit heavier. They hit heavy blows. So I don't know, but look at Roy Nelson. Roy Nelson's still at it, and he's still, Roy Nelson's good.
Roy Nelson is a tough motherfucker.
Yeah. No, the thing about Roy Nelson and Mark Hunt is they're just as good as being the nail at being the hammer. Verdun was never good at being the nail, my friend. He's not good. He's not durable. He's very good at beating the crap out of people. He's really good. His striking is amazing. Like what his coach, Anderson Silva's coach, the legendary, can't remember his name right now, but that guy is an amazing striking coach. I mean, look what he did with Cyborg, with Vanderlei Silva, with Lyoto Machida, Black House. They got amazing, striking. Like freaking Fabricio back in the day couldn't strike to save his life. He had to lay on his back and butt scoop to catch you and take you down. And once he take you down, he'd submit you, like what he did to Fedor Emelianenko. But now his striking is as good as pretty much anyone's, almost, except for maybe Alistair Overeem, who's one of the greatest kickboxers ever. But even then, when they fought, he caught again. I just said his name, Alistair Overeem, and dropped him. So actually, both of these guys have very weak chins. But like, did you guys hear? Yeah, we were talking about McLeprechaun's latest comments. I mean, it's just like it's embarrassing. Like the guy is so deluded.
Well, what he's doing,
So
he's
delusional.
setting up his next fight, whatever that is.
Yeah, he's
It's
talking
just
about
noise. He's making noise,
It
and he
sounded
wants to. Who knows? Maybe he's going to fight Paul Malignaggi or whatever his name is.
yeah, but that's an avoidance. It's not a fight. You can't call that a fight, especially not Paul.
No, but people will pay. Hey, his fans will pay money for that shit.
Oh, I know, but that's why I refuse to call his fans MMA fans, because you can't be an MMA fan.
I think his next fight is going to be a boxing match. He's not gonna do an MMA fight.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled that. But like, if he pulled that boxing crap again, I'd love to see him versus Canelo or Golovkin. I'd love to see that.
No, he wouldn't do that.
I'd love.
Canelo will destroy him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and the thing is, it's not even just him I want destroyed. I want his fans to go. I want his fans to go once and for all. Like, I've had it. Like, they're not MMA fans. They will not be missed. Their money won't be missed to me either. Like, I'm not getting any of it anyway, so fuck them. Like, these guys.
Why don't you just tell us how you really fucking feel?
Yeah, right. That's my problem. I hold back way too much. But seriously, man, like, how can
No, you just said what I wish I'd say every day. That's all.
I do, trust me, I say it every day, especially right now. But it's just not good. It's not good for MMA. It's good for
No, he's all McGregor cares about is money. That's all he cares about.
yeah. If fighters were making more money as a result, I'd tolerate it a lot better. But fighters are not. Fighters up to now have not been making more money. The only guys making money is the UFC, Conor McGregor, or McLeprechaun, as I like to call him. If all the fighters, like, that whole theory,
Food.
rising tide raises all ships, that's fine. But it doesn't. It doesn't. It's only been him. So you know what? Screw him. Because these guys do not know MMA. They do not respect anything. So there you go. But yeah, like, I'd love to see if he's really gonna box, let him fight someone like what's his name? The next Mayweather, Errol Spence Jr. See what happens then.
Oh, Spence Jr. will kill him.
Exactly. Exactly. Anyways, anything you guys would like, anything we'd like to discuss before we go? I know one
No,
thing.
not me, Cyrus. As a matter of fact, I kind of got to go.
All right, man. If you got to go right now, then
Yeah.
I get it. I just want to discuss one more thing, Roberto, if you have a few more minutes.
Yeah, I got about 5 more minutes.
Well, Jim, thanks for joining.
I can. Okay, say Roberto. It's glad to meet you.
Same here, brother.
Okay, thanks a lot, Cyrus.
Hey, thanks so much, man. You're the best, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bro?
Real good. Take care, you guys.
Will do. I thought we could just discuss GSP versus Michael the Cunt Bitchping next month. That's his real name. That's his real legal name, believe it or not.
The cunt. Bisbee.
The Cunt Bitchping.
Bitchping.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It makes me so happy that this name caught on, Bitchping, because you know how? I've been saying it for 3 years now. But of course, it knows me, so it didn't catch on that much. But it's caught on because of the monster that is, what's his name? He used to be a lightweight, Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal started calling him that 3 or 4 months ago, right after Yoel Romero fought Robert Whittaker, because of what Bitchping did. He ripped his, and ever since then, Jorge has been calling him Bitchping every day, and everybody calls him that now, and it makes me so happy, man. Even though I thought of it first, I was calling him that way back.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I know one person that's really, really excited to see him come back and fight is my wife.
Well, me included. That makes 2 of us.
She loves GSP, so she can't wait to see him come back. I mean, me not so much anymore, but it's whatever.
That's
You know,
going to be great.
he's coming back and he's gonna fight for the title. He's gonna fight, you know, bitch Bing.
Exactly. But
um, I don't know. I think he's gonna GSP's gonna have a hard time taking Bisping down for probably the first 2 rounds.
that's interesting you say that. I think he's going to take him down at will if he wants to. But I have a feeling that he's just going to stand with him. And remember,
Hmm.
GSP has some of the best stand up that's ever been seen because he's got
Oh,
talent.
his jab, dude.
Mm. I
You
believe
know,
that.
GSP's
Yeah.
jab is just it's precise.
Yeah, the thing about GSP's takedowns as well is they're very hard to read because he mixes them perfectly, seamlessly with his striking. So if you really, and they're also explosives takedown. His double legs are the most explosive I've ever seen, and they come at any moment. Look at, I mean, remember the hardest welterweight to take down for years was Thiago Alves. Remember him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right, Thiago Alves. And look how easily. Is that your alarm?
No, I think we're getting a flash flood warning.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, look how easily GSP took him down.
mm-hmm.
Like that was just like with ease. So I think he can take him down, but I don't even think GSP is going to want to take him down. I think he's going to want to beat the crap out of him, and I think he's going to jab him, to kick him, to leg kick him. Remember, GSP has everything in his arsenal,
Yeah, he does. He
and
does.
I have to say, like, I love GSP. I love the fighter. I love the man. I think he's just like an example of what a real, true mixed martial artist should be, just like Demetrius Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to say that even if you don't like the fighter, you have every right not to like the fighter. Even if you think the fighter is boring, the man, I don't know how you can't love the man. The man is an awesome guy. He's a gentleman. He's real. He doesn't, he's not fake, and he's humble. To me, it's just like, how can you not love the dude? And I root for him.
No, yeah. I mean, GSP is one of the few fighters that people respect
Yeah.
because he respects his opponent. He doesn't. I still have yet to see him talk shit about his opponent. He actually like talks good about his opponent.
Exactly.
You know, he has nothing but good stuff to say.
Yeah.
But he 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 shows it all in the cage.
Exactly. And it's just going to be great to see him back. And I honestly
So
believe he's going
it'll
to,
be fun to watch him fight Michael. But you know,
yeah,
it's
because,
it's just one of those fights that you just don't know because it's gonna be what 2-3 years since GSP been in the cage.
yeah, but GSP never stops training. That's the thing.
No, he doesn't. And a lot of people are, I have some people that would ask me, like, yeah, but he hasn't been in the cage. He's gonna have cage rust. No, he's
Uh-uh.
been
No.
he's been training and he's training other fighters
Look
to
what
get prepared for a fight. So he's sparring, he's
Exactly.
training,
He's coaching.
he's coaching. So it's not like
You see him
he's.
in Bellator all the time. Whenever.
Oh yeah, he's always at Bellator because his fighters are there fighting.
Exactly. So no, man, I think he's going to be just fine. I think he might even be better. I think he's one of these guys who just needed a break from MMA because it was just getting too much for him. Now that there's other stars, there's other personalities, he took a 3-year break, and now he's back, baby. I think we're going to see something. I think we're going to see the same GSP that
But
fought.
better.
Yeah, the same GSP that fought Matt and took the belt from Matt.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's gonna be a good fight, man. That one I don't want to miss for sure.
See how big he looks too? He looks
Yeah,
huge.
dude, he looks huge.
And
He looks like a middleweight.
Yeah, he looks swole, man. He
Mhm.
looks swole. So I'm expecting something special. I mean, the guy didn't come back to put on some. I mean, of course he wants to get paid, but I don't think he came back for the money. He came back to prove a point. And especially after that nonsense Dana White pulled, like, oh, he's no fighter anymore. He doesn't have it in him anymore. I think he's gonna want.
Nah, Dana White can go suck a big bag of dicks, bro.
Amen. Like, you go on, you publicly make you make a how do you say, a public press conference is to announce you're going to donate $1 million to the victims of Las Vegas shooting. When really $1 million these days isn't that much, but you can't even be bothered to pay your fighters properly. Give it a break, man. Exactly. Go suck a bag of dicks. Not good wholesome American talk either. I just cock. Man. Anyway, sorry, I didn't be so vulgar, but yeah, no. So
That's okay.
It ain't. Just remember, it ain't a good deed if you're making sure everybody hears about it.
Yeah.
And it really, but yeah, man. Like, I think we can. Do you have any other news? Anything you want to discuss, or
Say what now?
you have anything else you want to discuss, or?
No. I think I'm pretty good now.
Yeah, I think we're good. But,
yes, sir.
You guys keep your ears close to. You guys keep an eye out for us because we're going to be back. We're going to be active. We're going to be bringing you fighter interviews. We're going to be bringing you interviews from fight promoters, from promotions. We're going to be bringing you all kinds of talk, and it's always going to be from the point of view of the fighter. So I hope you guys keep listening. I hope more of you guys join. It's only going to get better from here.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right,
we're gonna be getting a lot of fighters on the show. So good times are coming, man, for the podcast.
Good times are coming, my brother.
Oh yeah, and I'll be able to get on the show more often too. So that's gonna be exciting.
That's always a good thing, my brother. It's good to have you back, man.
Thanks, man.
All right, you wanna sign out, Roberto?
Yeah. Thanks for listening. It's always cool to have the fans there. Supporting what I call myself a local MMA website, or but yeah, it's fun to see a lot of people enjoying the content that I bring. And it's having the podcast is just another feather in the cap. But everybody can catch this show on the website at fightbookmma.com under the podcast link. So keep your ears open.
Amen. Well, look, this was Roberto. This was Cyrus Stark. This was True Temper Rocket. This was Soul of a Fighter podcast. By Fighters, for Fighters, episode 9. This is Roberto Villa and Cyrus Stark saying good night, good luck. Cyrus and Roberto out. Good night.